So Virtuous is a responsive fundraising platform. So we help nonprofits raise more money and create better relationships with their donors. So, you can kind of think about us as HubSpot for nonprofits. Yeah, I'd been working in and around the nonprofit space for a really long time and saw a couple of things. One is that I have a personal passion for generosity. I think generosity, us giving our time, talent, money to great causes, I think it creates amazing good in the world. But I also think it creates just amazing change in the heart of the giver. It makes us generally less selfish and more others focused, which is great. I also saw that a lot of nonprofits are sort of handcuffed to legacy technology that keeps them from building a personal connection with donors. Giving is one of the most personal things we'll ever do, yet nonprofits have a really hard time creating personal connections. And so founding Virtuous was really a way to lean into my passion for generosity and help nonprofits solve some of those challenges. We had a little bit of an advantage over some tech companies in that we had a successful agency, software consulting business, which allowed us to self-fund the build out of the platform. So me and a few other folks from our team locked ourselves in a room for about a year and built out a platform that was more viable than it was minimum from the beginning, if that makes sense. And so, yeah, we spent about a year just building it out, locked in a room, and then launched to a group of beta nonprofits. Thankfully, we had a bunch of amazing nonprofits who were big fans of what we were doing. They were incredibly forgiving. I think this is such great advice for entrepreneurs. If you can find customers that are fans of yours, that you're really transparent with, and you sort of bring them along beside you as almost co-developers or founding partners with your organization, it makes life way easier. So yeah, we had a handful of probably 10 organizations, but they were all our biggest cheerleaders. They were giving us feedback on the product on a daily basis, and it allowed us to ramp much faster. It's different every week, right? You talk to any tech entrepreneur and those challenges change every week. I think for us, it's been making sure that we're very clear about what types of organizations we serve, like the size of organizations that are ideal fit for our product. The last thing we wanted to do was to sell Virtuous to people that couldn't use it or didn't want it. It wasn't serving them or moving the needle. And so it took us a couple of years to kind of figure out, this is exactly the kind of nonprofit who gets a lot of value from our product. And so, there's bumps and bruises along the way in learning those lessons. And then we also learned with our customers in particular, they kind of want one throat to choke. They don't want to cobble together 2 or 3 different systems to do what they need to do. I think we assumed in the early days nonprofits would want to pick best in breed platforms from several different categories, but they really don't. They would really just prefer to have everything in one place. And so that's something that, we had to learn and adjust on the fly a year or 2 into our journey to sort of restructure some of the platform to meet more needs. I think just 2 things. One is that providing nonprofits with really leading edge technology with measurable ROI, right? And so instead of focusing on, hey, we're going to give you a database to store your donors in, we're more focused on how do we help you move the needle on giving, and what kind of features do we develop that we can show you how you get better donor retention or higher average gift, or these core metrics that nonprofits look on. So being very focused on driving generosity. The other thing is just hiring an amazing team who's really empathetic to nonprofits. So a lot of our team used to work in nonprofits. Some of our team used to work at Virtuous customers, and they are super passionate. They love getting on the phone with our customers. They love hearing about their needs, and they love serving them. So I think that approach of just an empathetic servant's heart that's focused on nonprofits has been amazing in helping us build trust and scale. And it makes our customers not shut up about us. Nonprofit circles are sort of small. And so if you can do a good job serving one nonprofit, they're, really likely to tell others as well. I love community. And so I don't have a co-founder at Virtuous. So for me in particular, it's critical that I'm around other entrepreneurs that are at my stage that are facing the same problems. And so that I can bounce ideas off of them, they can bounce ideas off of me. I think we're better together that way. Also having access to people that are maybe a stage or two ahead of us that can help us point out, hey, here's the challenge you have up ahead of you and here's how to avoid it. So that's been super powerful. But I think it's, really just good for the Phoenix ecosystem too. I think for, if you look at like a Salt Lake City or an Austin or obviously like a San Francisco, you see a lot of collaboration between entrepreneurs, that really deep ecosystem where great talent is developed, and then that talent jumps out to start their own companies in a lot of cases, or, people have exits and then move on to do the next big thing. And that all comes through community and collaboration. And so this group is great at that. I don't know if surprised is the right word, but I've really enjoyed how transparent that the community is, right? It's more than just sort of a networking group or a place that you show up to consume content. We get in the room with the guys that I'm in it with, and girls, gals, that we, everybody shares like what's going on. Like, here's the rough part of my business that I'm going through right now. Here's struggles that I'm having with my team. Here's how I'm thinking about fundraising, but just like freakishly transparent in a really good, healthy way, which has been just really enjoyable. We are working really hard to scale, right? I think we are committed to making a big dent in the universe. For me, this is a lifelong passion. And so it's not a way to just make a quick buck and then go off and buy a house on an island somewhere. Like, I want to build a big business and really make a dent on generosity. As a team, we have a goal in the near term, next 18 months, to provably create $1 billion in net new generosity in the world. And so, and then after that, it'll be, 5 billion and 10 billion of net new generosity in the world. And so I think we have big dreams, big things ahead of us. But I think for us, it's going to mean attracting and retaining some amazingly talented people. And so a lot of my focus right now is how am I building out my team with great folks that love nonprofits to be able to continue to, close to double every year. I think it's really about surrounding yourself with great community. Some friends of mine use the word durable relationships, and I really like that word. And so it's not just you're relationally connected, but that relationship is durable, meaning through thick and thin, good and bad, you can pick up the phone, be vulnerable. Because being an entrepreneur can be lonely, right? There's a weight that comes with entrepreneurship that can be really hard some days. And that community of folks around you that have your back is critical. Phoenix historically has been a little bit of a lonely entrepreneur ecosystem, but I think that's changing. But I think entrepreneurs really need to make an effort to reach out and surround themselves with other great people that care about them, that are going through similar things.